2017 Town Council meeting to order. Would you please all rise to salute the flag and remain standing for a moment of silence? Item number 1, ratification of actions taken at organizational meeting. Town Council to vote for ratification of actions taken at the organizational meeting of January 7th, 2017, which would be changed to January 8th, 2017. Do I have a motion to accept the ratification of the organizational meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman DeStefanis. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 2, acceptance of meeting minutes. Minutes from 2 meetings of December 6, 2016 to be accepted and approved by the Town Council. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman DeStefanis. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 3, Town Council rules. Adoption of Resolution 17-001 for rules of the Town Council. Do I have a motion to adopt Resolution 17-001, rules of the Town Council?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman DeStefanis. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 4, Knights of Columbus property. Mayor Lombardi requests discussion and vote regarding the purchase of the Knights of Columbus property at 1835 Middle Spring Avenue. Mayor?
Mr. President, members of the council, first let me welcome and wish good luck to Mr. Amarigi, Mr. DiLorenzo, first meeting. Thanks for deciding to spend some time here. That being said, Mr. Chairman, what we're here tonight is to ask that the council allow the purchase of the property, the Knights of Columbus property. I'm sure everyone's read about this property over the last year, negotiations that have been going on. We have an agreement, and what we're here to tonight is to ask you to allow the purchase of the property pending, a sales agreement that is ratified by both the solicitor's office and your legal counsel. We'd like to move forward with the purchase of the property, and that would be for $650,000. $650,000.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made by Councilman Giusti. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilman DiLorenzo. Is there any questions for the mayor? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Mr.
Thank you.
Chairman, members of the council, this would be similar to your ratification of the property that was purchased on Plimpton Street. We're very close, and we'll be in touch with you as far as the final drawings, so that you guys, as council, not guys, ladies and gentlemen, will be able to take a look at, and so that anyone asks you any questions, you'll know exactly what's proposed at that site. Chief, is there anything?
Chris Pelagio, Acting Police Chief, North Providence Police Department. Once again, I'd like to put forth my congratulations to the new town council members.
Thank you.
Appreciate your service to the town. Look forward to working with the both of you as well as all the council members. I can't state how the town is in such a great position with this federal forfeiture money, and this land will be purchased utilizing the federal forfeiture, and this plot will complete the adjacent properties that, as you know, the town has purchased. Clearly, we do need this property. Speaking with the architects at Robinson Green Beretta, they have stated that it would cost probably just as much money to try to build around this property as it would be to purchase it outright. And, you know, we all know that the property definitely is needed to, you know, to put the project at a point where we need it. So, again, thank you for approving the resolution, and we look forward to this public safety complex going forward.
Thank you,
Any
Chief.
questions of me prior to?
Any questions for the chief? Thank you. Mayor,
Thank
do you
you.
want to add?
Just one last thing, members of the council. We're out to bid for the demolition of the property on Plimpton, but we also asked those individuals to bid on this property. We'll be in touch with them tomorrow to make sure that the council was okay with the purchase of it for demolition. We talked with the environmental company. We're all clear on both the land in the back, the property to the right. They're telling us there isn't a problem with this property at the Knights of Columbus, but we want that in writing. So protect us. So before we sign the purchase and sales, if there is an issue, same as the Plimpton Street, we are having the owners take care of that. So it won't be on our dime, so to say.
Thank you.
Okay?
Proposed ordinances. Notice was given of a public hearing on this day whereby the town council will consider passage of the following proposed ordinances. Item number 5, ordinance 16-012, an ordinance amending chapter 31, article 5 to add section 31-24 of the Code of Ordinances of the town of North Providence entitled Abandonment of Highways, Driftways Procedure. Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 16-012?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman DeStefano, seconded by Councilman Brady. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 6, ordinance 16-013, an ordinance amending chapter 19, article 10, section 19-47A of the Code of Ordinances of the town of North Providence entitled Three-Way Stop Signs. Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 16-013?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman DeStefanis. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 7, MAP Entertainment, DBA Bailey's Pub. Letter was sent to Michael Paserno, registered agent of and owner of MAP Entertainment, DBA Bailey's Pub, located at 1910 Smith Street, to appear to address his noncompliance with the necessary requirements to renew his BV liquor and entertainment licenses. Mr. Paserno, just state your name for the record, please.
Michael Paserno. Michael Paserno.
Thank you. I'm being told that everything is been brought up to date now to this point. Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Paserno now that he's here? Well, we thank you for coming out and thank you for fulfilling all those requirements. I'm going to make a motion to pass this item off the agenda.
Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made by Councilman Juicy, seconded by Councilman Brady. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 8. Holiday sales license. Town council will consider a vote for approval of a holiday sales license from Dollar Tree Stores Incorporated, DBA Dollar Tree, number 07082, 2050 Smith Street, North Providence. We have a representative from Dollar Tree. Please just state your name for the record.
Hal Kirkhoff, I'm a district sales manager.
Thank you. You all have the item in your packet. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Kirkhoff? You said your last name is?
Yes, yep.
Okay, there being none, I'd like to entertain a motion to grant the holiday sales license.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman DeStefanis. Any further questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Item number 9, victualling license. Town council to consider a vote for approval of a victualling license for Amanda Campo, DBA Clarisi Osteria Co. Incorporated, 2053 Smith Street, North Providence. Is anyone here from 2053 North Providence? Is anyone here from 2053 North Providence?
I'll make it carry on. I'll make a motion to carry on.
Okay, Councilman Juicy's made a motion to continue this to next month. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Juicy, seconded by Councilman DiLorenzo. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor? All those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 10, rat problem. Communication was sent to Anthony Tadino, owner of A&D Pest Control, and Michael Cannavale, minimum housing officer, to appear at this time to address residents of rats in the town. Can you please just all state your name for that vote?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman. I did receive your communication asking for Mr. Tadino to be here this evening. And hoping that the explanations that are given to this council and hopefully all the questions can be answered, and hopefully that we can put this to rest once and for all. Again, I think that Mr. Tadino and also Mr. Carnival will be able to explain to you as to exactly what we're trying to do and how we're trying to address this issue that has become, in my opinion, more of a public issue because of the politics in our town. That being said, Mr. Chairman, only one request I may have. I know we're showing the audio on the back wall. I'm just wondering if the council would consider coming here to the front and pulling down the curtain here. It might be a better view.
Does that work?
Yeah, you said to reset everything up.
No problem. Forget about it. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So this is Mr. Anthony Tadino from A&D Pest. Everyone knows Mike Carnavale.
Can you just pick up the microphone, Mr. Tadino? Thank you.
I'm Anthony Tadino, A&D Professional Pest Elimination. This is George Williams.
How you doing? I'm George Williams with Univar. I'm a technical entomologist, and I'm here on behalf of A&D and the town.
Thank you.
My goal here is just to answer questions that people may have. I don't represent really anyone. I'm just here as a local expert. So my goal is to help the citizens.
Okay. Did you want to give your presentation? Or?
Sure.
Mr. Chairman, I just put out some pictures that, as you know, we get a ton of calls, not a ton of calls, but we get a lot of calls. And after we got so many calls, I decided that I'd visit some of the sites when I got a call. And these are some of the photos that I took, you could see. And you'd realize why we got rat problems in some areas.
I agree.
And anyone has a, that wants to come up and take a look at them, please feel free.
Maybe let some of the people in the audience see it first.
The pictures I'm going to pass around are actually people that have complained, and these are the pictures of their property. And just give some idea of why they're having a problem.
Thank you. Your neighborhood.
Where's this?
Sure.
What's his name?
populations, as they rise, they tend to envelop other parts of the town or the city. This is what's called river seed. River seed is a technical term for whiskers. The reason why I bring this up is they're sensory organs. Now, you pet a dog in the stomach, and as soon as you pet on the stomach, you start scratching. Right on top of their head, they have whiskers like this. And as soon as he feels those whiskers being touched, he burrows. So what do they want to do? This is an actual property in Cambridge, Massachusetts, outside of a hotel. They chose to burrow where the stems of all the foliage is down on the ground. This area is all trimmed. Now that's important if you're going to do landscape management around your property. Low-lying juniper, things like that hide, nature likes to hide. That area on the left is perfect because there's a woody stem, debris flood flies through it. There's no trash bags or McDonald's bags hiding in there. There's no beef litter or pines. That other area is perfect. So a predator comes to get them, a cat, a dog, a hawk, they're going to go to that area where they can hide. And they're also going to bark. They're going to feel that being tickled. So take care of your landscapes. Trim your shrubs and keep them off the ground. Things like that play an important role. They'll build quite an extensive burrow system. You might see a bunch of burrows, only one of them is being used. They set up these escape and bolt holes so that when a dog or a cat or a human chases them, they go into them, and you're chasing them, and they go out of them. So you might see a bunch of burrows, but it might not be as bad as you think. They typically set up several burrows for one active burrow. They have 8 to 12 pups per litter, 4 to 8 litters per year. Their biotic potential is off the charts. Within a given month, they're becoming sexually mature and active, and they're reproducing in around 3 months. So that whole cycle just keeps turning. They live about 3 years in the lab, or about 1 year in the wild, and one female rat's going to produce about 20 pups. They're social, they're colonized, they have a really, really serious colonization of every infestation. Subordinate rats get pushed aside, the dominant ones are there. It happens all the time. 50 to 100 foot range, so they like to stay close to food, water, and shelter. But let's say something goes on, they get disturbed. They can travel a mile and a half to find their next nearest food source or their next nearest home. But we're in North Providence or in any major area, they don't have to go far. They probably have to go 100 yards to find the next nearest, perfect plate of food. Social order is the dominant rats typically get the night, and the subordinate ones, the juveniles, when they're stupid, they get the day. So, that's typically what happens. They're neophobic. They don't like new objects in their environment. So you put out traps, you put out devices, they stay away from them. And all of that comes into play. They're really a tough, formidable foe. They have a learned behavior that they pass on to their offspring, so they become smarter. So when they miss a trap, when they get caught on a trap, when they escape, they pass that behavior on to their offspring, and their offspring stay away from traps. So all of this is something that professionals in cities have to know. And they can be afraid of baby. They mark their territories with, this is called rub marks, and it's sebum, it's our sweat glands, and they have pheromones in them. They tell the rats where to go for food, where to stay away from. They're laden with, their droppings and their urine is laden with pheromones that tell them what to do. So that they're really a very smart animal. At this point, I just want to give you a little refresher, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions people might have. Sorry to discuss it, but I'm doing it.
Just do it now.
Any questions?
Yeah, as far as the problem itself, we do have a problem, we all agree on that. We're not going to eradicate it. As you said, this is all about containing the situation. Getting back to what you said earlier, so it's not about finger pointing. I think this is all about the various groups, our town government here, the people, residents, getting together and finding some compromise. This is the deal. Back in 2007, I think you also gave a presentation and came in. Unfortunately, I feel that when the presentations are given, they don't get out to the residents. Is there going to be any kind of literature going out to the homes?
Yeah,
that's it. Will we?
That's actually, if I could just interject, that's a great point. Community outreach is a vital part of our community growth program. And
we have, you know, it's just a matter of common sense. Once we do the education part of it, I think this is a phase approach to this. There are many steps as far as, you know, getting it under control before we do have an epidemic.
Yeah, and in regards to trash container, you know, about 95, if not 98% of all trash containers are not odor-proof. You know, residentially, for certain flats, metal even, you know, like, so you have to get them rated for odor control. You know, so I'd be more than happy to help with, you know, consulting on that. And they will choose chemicals resistance. If they can get in through plastic, they will. If they get it through metal, they will. You know, but for the most part, you want to make it harder. Metal is night and day better than most. You know, I mean, I see cities invested in parks and playgrounds, you know, recycling, and they didn't take any consideration into road improvement. So all of that plays a part, you know, because you might be doing your part with great great trash receptacles. However, the house next to you or the park or something of that nature may not. So everything has to be looked at on a site-by-site basis, and then determine whether that issue is within that property, you know, that geographical area, where it expands faster. You know, so there has to be site assessments done to determine the pressure on the neighborhood. So essentially, that's what you know.
What do you mean by pressure on the neighborhood?
I mean, is that rat infestation on a residential property or a park or playground? Has it expanded to collateral damage to some residents? All of that gets looked at and then determine what is the best corrective measure. You know, and you know, it may seem like the whole town's infested, but you know, populations are high in the Northeast. You know, and they're not spread throughout the whole town. You know, undivided. You know, there's a whole lot of reasons why rats don't rule the world yet. You know, but you know, you have to look at each situation on a case-by-case basis. It's probably the best advice I can give.
You had mentioned to me that you see, in the journal that one house is 50 rat holes in the yard.
It wasn't, it was the adjacent property. It was a complex and a dumpster. All goes in. Yeah, and as you mentioned, this colony where they push away the bigger ones, obviously they go out further. Those neighborhoods, they find ways. And I know about the house we talked about. There are bird feeders, there could be trees or whatever. But as the humans being on the top of this, we need to all drop. You can't even have a vegetable garden because it's a food source. You can't feed the birds, you know. We had a conversation one time, and there was a person that was actually feeding us.
Right.
Because, again,
In a country,
it's a different culture. And again, it brings us back to the education part of this whole thing. But at this point now, my question to the council, do we have a contract or any type of pest control agency as of now that will oversee this? Or is this a special type of contract? Or Mr. Tenino, you have a contract with us for this time?
Yes, they're A&D Pest Control. Go.
Chairman, I can answer that. Whenever we have an issue that's reported to our office, we immediately call Mike, and Anthony goes out, and I don't know, I can't speak for you, Mr. Tenino, but I think it's approximately 99% of the time, they identify the food source and bring that to the attention of that property owner. I mean, there's only so much we can do. We can't go on people's property and clean up the eroded situation. We can only try to educate them as to how we get rid of them. But I mean, Anthony, that issue that you had mentioned to us after the last meeting of that house where you said you went in and there was a drain line in the basement.
Yes.
So, I had a constituent here last month, I wasn't here, but Anthony tells us a couple of days later, and with Mike, that they visited the property. So, the property owner is complaining that there's a rodent situation, but at the same time, Anthony identifies in the basement, Anthony,
Yeah, see, that wasn't, you know, and that, the video just showed you, it was the pipe. And she also informed me that she had a bird feeder, she had the bird seat on her back porch, the back porch, they had a little door on it.
Convenient.
They love bird seed. She said she took away the bird feeder, but she also had a dog. And the yard, I will say this, when I went there, the yard was clean. But they would leave dog droppings, they would leave dog food, the bird seed bags, so they throw it all inside the bird seed bag. So, and I explained to her about the pipe, how you have to repair that, you know. And she said, well, she had something in the house and they moved the sink, or whatever it was, but there was an open drain line. And the borrowers were right in the dirt, also right below that. So, you know, to say that the town should go in and do something about something like that, if that woman had a problem with mice, would she expect the town to go into Wall Street? No, she doesn't. But because, you know, there's rats in her yard and she sees the burrows, I don't know what, you know, what, I go in and just say exactly what I say. If the town, if it was the town's property, because her yard was up against the ballpark, and the town wasn't taking the garbage out of the ball game, I would say, yeah, you know, there's property coming from that, but I would have to see the burrows on that property. If I go these properties and those pictures we took, you look at the garbage, they have metal dumpsters there, and the people are throwing garbage on the ground. And then the other picture I took was on Vincent Avenue, there was some that complained that the town was having a problem with rats. I took pictures of his property, and he's got garbage cans that are overflowing, and his recycling bins are overflowing, and the rat burrows are 15 feet away underneath his patio. You know, I mean, they don't have to go very far to get food.
Can you find these people?
Mr. President.
Hold on. Councilman Field has a question.
Just have a question for Mr. Cannavale.
Yes, again, once they don't adhere to the letter that is sent from our office, then I turn it over to prosecution and brought in front of the judge. The judge is the only one that deals with the file.
Mr. Chairman, if I may just, another example, we had a problem right down here off Mill Spring, nice neighborhood. We go there, and the culture of this family thought that they could feed the rodents. So we go in. So the property next door, which was the Copperfield property, stone walls, so all of the burrows were in the stone wall on the neighbor's property. The neighbor wasn't causing the issue. The person next door thought it was okay to feed them. So now we visit them and tell them, first of all, trash barrels have to go in your garage. We educate them. Okay, that's stopped. But here's the problem. Across the street, this guy has got them in his walls, and he don't care. Am I right? He's got them in his walls, Mr. Chairman and members of the council. So here's the town, us. What do? We go in and tell the guy, okay, you gotta get rid of your pets or something, I don't know. But he's got them in the walls, we saw the burrows, and Anthony found it, they wouldn't even come clean. Then the lady finally said, yeah, we got them in the walls.
You know, the takeaway message, not just for you know, rats, but for any pest issue, is pests don't know property lines. You know, they don't care. So when you have an ant problem, or when you have a rat problem, pests don't know property lines. So it has to be kind of a coordinated effort between professional pest management, you know, health department, you know, and, you know, town council. And once you get a process in place for identifying what is the cause of the problem, after an assessment's been done, then action has to take place. That's the ideal concept.
But the health department doesn't get involved unless we have an epidemic of some disease outbreak.
Yeah, some towns it's.
We should be handling that ourselves here, but maybe just to put this in a different way, will this town ever consider distributing throughout the neighborhoods the 96-gallon buckets, just like the same ones that we have for recycle bins? It seemed to have worked, or deterred a little bit, from Johnston over, I believe Providence, Pawtucket. They have the problems, but they're kind of proactive toward these things now. And the boroughs that we discussed before, the gentleman that owned the property with the dumpster, okay? He was advised what to do. I believe you went down and told him as far as put the poisons up. But the thing is, he's not a professional. And
It's food in the garbage. And the other thing too is there, I mean, I respect your efforts to try and control them, but, you know, there is a science behind this, otherwise you wouldn't have a problem. You know, I mean, you know, everybody can do it themselves. It's really a daunting task to try and take on the rest of it by yourself.
Well, they came up and started it, and then I wasn't gonna pay them to come out every month to fill the bait boxes. But after a couple of summers, they stopped eating the bait boxes.
And they found something better.
Right.
Mr. Cannavale, do we have the, ability as far as the workers in this town?
My question's still pending. I have to ask you. Just wanted to ask you a question. They took the floor.
The Adams situation was put on my desk the day before yesterday. I have to go to that lot there where the famous Saladas is, where the dumpsters are there. That's becoming a big problem. All of the apartment complexes are really working together with the town in order to do the bad abatement, clean up around their dumpsters, and have maintenance men walk around the garbage bags. No matter how many times you tell people, they'll throw the garbage bags up over the dumpster company comes, they pick it up, and those gentlemen don't get out of the truck. So Stonebridge, off of Washington Avenue, we have every place. They're having all their maintenance people go out and make sure that the trash is picked up. All the mattresses are being taken and picked up by the town in order to stop you from nesting in mattresses. So everyone we're working with is trying to work with it. I have most of my problems, and which could all be solved, is when you go by a house and you see there's 4 garbage cans, but there's 5 bags next to the 4 cans that are already filled. You have to buy those extra 3 cans and put the covers on. I live in the woods. I put a bungee cord across the top of mine because the raccoons come in there, they fight it all day long. Now, the raccoons can't get in my can. The rats can't get in the cans. The bungee cord was put on the top. Is it all an extra expense? Yes. But all working together as a team, we can solve this problem. And
But,
we have,
you bring a valid point out where that over spillage, and that's why I feel if we're gonna compromise, this town can help out, distribute those buckets to, they'll pick up with the overflow. Okay, that's all it is.
Mr. President,
Councilman.
excuse me, the issue of the 96 gallon cans keeps coming up. So while we have the experts here, I'm just wondering, how effective are those as opposed to just the regular run-of-the-mill cans that you can buy at, say, a Home Depot or a Lowe's?
Metal better than plastic, absolutely.
Better if you buy metal garbage cans at Lowe's or Home Depot, that would be great. You know, obviously, over time, the bottles are gonna run out, but, if it's a solid metal garbage can.
I've had mine for 3.5 years and they're not rotting.
It's a matter of maintaining them and making sure they're up to date. If they have an attached cover, then they do, that's a benefit because most people lose the covers. So that's huge.
They're not rotting anyway.
I mean, but I would tell you metal, even aluminum is better than plastic. We've all seen those photos.
Bottom line is that if they're not using the garbage cans, you may put out
Mr. President, have him come to the microphone. Have him come to the microphone.
Can I have everyone come up to the microphone, because this is kind of getting spread out.
Mr. Cannavale.
Councilman DiLorenzo has a question.
Mr. Cannavale, when you went to those dumpsters and took a picture, and you said you wrote her a citation, where did you send it?
citation goes right to the property owner, and they respond. And how I write the citation up is that you're in violation of zoning ordinance of the town of North Rockland.
Okay.
If this problem is not taken care of, a court summons will be sent to you to appear in North Rockland's court. And I get a real good response to the homeowner.
Right.
I meet them out there, and I show them exactly what the problem is. And everybody that I'm dealing with is complying with what we're asking them to do. I had a big problem, like I said, with Hillside Terrace. They had, the rat burrows there were so bad, they were, with all the people on Meadow Street.
That's the picture you have is of that apartment building.
Mr. Cannavale, over the last year, how many residents in the town or properties have you inspected that you've cited?
Over 50. And I've sent a letter, and everybody's responded. I haven't had to bring anybody in front of the judge because they've cleaned the properties.
Mr. President.
Councilman.
So I guess I just want to go forward a little bit deeper on that question that Councilman Fiola had asked. So how many complaints do you feel that you're investigating?
Well, in the last 3 months, since we really hit it hard in the summer with all the letters and the violation stickers, I'm getting about maybe 3 calls a week. Where before we get like 15 calls a week. Now
Because
this,
it's winter.
well, this started a month ago, where the calls started to, they weren't as many. But no matter how many calls I get, I go and report to everyone. And a lot of calls come into town hall, and they refer it right to me, and I go right out and tag that property with a red tag, and I go right back to my office and get a letter, take it right here to town hall every day. I'm here, mailing out letters.
So just to ask, just to go a little deeper here, how much is the fine?
The fine is set by the judge. If we have somebody that's an offender that keeps going on, it starts at 50, it can be up to $500 a day until they clean up their property. Now, I'll give you one example. Across from Stephen Omen, a little side street with all those nice houses in the cul-de-sac, 57 garbage bags were thrown out the window on the side of the house, and that's how they were taking care of their garbage. So we cited them, and they cleaned it up within a week. But this is what's causing a lot of the problem. There's a lot of people sitting in this audience who keep their properties nice and clean. You have that one house down at the end of the street, and that's the one I go after, because they don't clean up their leaves, they don't clean up the acorns. They keep wood piles on the ground where it's a nesting place for rats. They have pallets in their backyard. It's hard for me, I don't have the jurisdiction to walk in a fence in a backyard as a building inspector or a minimum housing inspector. I have to have a reason to go in, or else I can get charged with trespassing. So maybe, you know, and the mayor and I have discussed this before, is there something that I can do more, where I can get more authority? But that has to be passed by all the different councils. We've been talking about this to solve this problem. And it's a problem we talk about at least once a week. And I always report to the mayor's office on what I'm doing and where the problems are. So I have all the support from town hall. It's whatever authority I can get to do what I need to do, where I can get the people in front of the judge faster, or if people that don't comply. If I send you a letter, you respond to me, you don't clean up, I send it to prosecution. That folder will automatically, they'll create a summons. Then they'll have to chase the homeowner to find it. That usually takes another 2 to 3 weeks. By the time I get in front of the judge, it's 60 days. So if you complain to me about a house in June, it doesn't get cleaned up until the middle of August, because by the time I get them in front of the judge, and I don't have the authority to send our trucks there to clean up that property because it's not abandoned and someone's living there. So, and I'm not making excuses, gentlemen and ladies. I will do whatever it takes to make this problem go away. But there's some things that I need that gives me a little bit more authority. How that's done through zoning, in the town council, that's something that I plan to come and ask tonight.
Well, I want to thank A&D Pest Control for coming out tonight. We appreciate the presentation. I also want to give the administration credit, because I think they've been very aggressive with this issue. I know the work you guys do, and they're constantly responsive, and Mike, you going out. I think this is a good dialogue that started now of maybe how we can put more teeth, giving you more authority, because I've spoken with you in the past, and this is an issue. And I think this is something the solicitor, we could possibly talk about how we can.
I just want to clarify one thing. The mayor will give me all the authority I need. It's the legal power.
Right, that's what I'm talking about,
I don't
yes.
want to think that I'm not getting the authority.
No, I understand what you can, you know, so.
If I can interject two other points before we close. The time difference, like you mentioned, from June to
August.
You know, think about the biotic potential, what you're dealing with there. So you might want to look at addressing how to make that a faster process.
Mhm.
You know, that's
I agree.
And the other thing in regards to your mention about seasonality, highest litters are produced in the spring, and they're active all year round. So they're quite active in the winter. You don't see them, but they are. But they are very active in the winter all year round. Just keep in mind, though, you're going to see a spike in activity in the spring, and then it'll ramp up as it goes
Council, Councilman Juicy has a question.
Mike? Yes. Why don't you sit down with whoever you're gonna sit down with? Make up a list of what you're looking for as far as authority, what you would like to see happen in that area, and get that back to this council. And I promise you that if we can, we will definitely get you more authority to get this problem cleaned up. I mean,
Manny,
yeah.
if I could, and any additional, help we can get. We've been very, very successful when someone has reported, this young lady was talking about Adams Street, we identified a lot across the street next to the laundromat there, the Clancy family. Now, they owned the lot for when I was a kid, but now the kids took over the lot, own the lot. They live in, I think, Upton, Mass, or somewhere, so they don't come here often. So we've got in touch with them, they're coming in to meet with Mike, and he's gonna lay the law down to them. They gotta clean it up.
Yeah, but what I'm,
I agree, this lady or anyone on that street shouldn't be faced with that situation. Now that it's been identified, we're gonna do what we can.
but what I'm saying, Mike, what I'm saying, Mayor, is if he gives us what he needs, like more authority to go into a backyard, plus like this gentleman said, maybe cut that time down from 2 months to like a few weeks if we can.
I don't know, usually if you're ever gonna get an authority to trespass on someone's property. I don't know where that would come from.
That lot can be.
Well, maybe, let the lawyers worry about that, let them put that together. We've been very fortunate with the letters, Juicy, the people responded. I haven't had to take anybody to court, but sometimes I run into a situation when we have a condo complex. There's no one to talk to the condo, there's 50 people that own condos, you gotta get the condo committee. And then you gotta get the condo committee, that's where where I can send our crews in, and I can lean every one of them properties. And you lean a bunch of them, it costs them some money out of the pocket, once you have that, that's what I'm saying. Apartment complex or condo complex.
What about letters to every resident from properties?
Yeah, Mr. President?
Asks for one spring, for one complete season, that you don't put bird feeders out, make gardens, buy metal trash cans, do everything you can, even if you don't have rats, how many people do you have rats? For one full year, let's just not have gardens, bird feeders, anything, and let's see if we can make a difference.
Count.
Some bigger cities that have rat problems use a poison that sterilizes the rats. Not only kills them, but sterilizes them so they can't reproduce. They're also doing something with carbon monoxide in their burrows that kills them.
They were banned by you. They stopped it.
Well, just, we need a broad, not just the places where there are, there's a lot of people in Madison that come here and say they have rats.
It's not the arrow, it's the Indian.
Councilwoman Brady has a question.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you both, Mr. Tadino and Mike, for coming out. Mr. Williams, we really appreciate it. This session has been most informative, and the takeaways, I think, are pretty clear. We've got some direction in place in terms of cleaning the property. This is what I'm believing I'm hearing from all sides. Having properly covered trash cans, preferably metal trash cans, as well as an effort maybe to put forth some more public information between our websites. Perhaps the administration would consider putting an informational letter in with the tax bills to get out to all residents on practical measures such as eliminating bird feeders, what to do if there is an issue, who to call to receive the help that so many of our residents have already received, as well as working on improved legal measures to put some teeth and to expedite the timeline. So I think this has been a very productive session. Thank you all.
Thank you. Chief?
Just one last thing, a rat to death. Someone made a suggestion, I believe it was before, that we certify people to dispense poison. Well, the town used to dispense poison years ago, but the liability is so great that you have one kid pick up with this poison, or one dog, or one animal, and the liability will kill this time. So that is not an option.
Thank you.
stayed in the landfill, and when that landfill was covered, no one still, my father still lives right up the street. I'm from this town, we've never had a problem with rats, but the neighborhood was always spotless. And whether it was a landfill or not, the town never had a problem until, and recently. And when I go and look at these properties, you can see from the pictures, it's not the town that is causing an issue here, it's the people that are living there are causing the issue. And whether it's a single-family house or an apartment building, on that Adams Street, I looked at that property about 3 years ago, there's an apartment building.
Across the street from my house.
There you go, and I took
I've
pictures of
lived
it.
there 22 years, there's never been trouble with Lancelotti's.
No, it wasn't this, I remember taking pictures of that, it was
When I
Lancelotti's.
moved there, probably most of the people owned, now 3 or 4 people own. That has a lot to do with it, I'm sorry.
What, that apartment building?
Owners versus renters.
Right, and that apartment dumpster
Because
was
if
wide
I
open.
rented, I'd be home.
That, if you go there, actually, you can go there any time of day and night, the dumpster's wide open, the doors are open, and, I know that Charlie, who was the survivor down there, and cited, I think they cited.
My husband will go clean around the dumpster and the guy yells at him.
Yeah, I was over there, they wanted to know what I was doing, they were questioning me, and I told them, and they're like, oh, there's no problem there,
All right, Councilwoman Brady has one more question before we wrap this up. Councilwoman?
I just have a question. We've talked about the rat-proof, large gauge plastic containers, and is it worth the investment? It came up at our last budget hearing last year at that session, and at that time, we felt that, the administration felt that we couldn't afford to do that in terms of keeping the budget without any tax increase. But I do want to ask you, based on feedback that you as the expert have received from Woonsocket, Providence, and other municipalities who have made that investment, have they seen an improvement in the situation with their residents dealing with fewer rat problems? Or do you know?
I wouldn't know. I know we've gotten calls from other towns, and we do inspections for a lot of towns, and I think that they may see a reduction, but not a significant one. If people don't pick up the garbage, no matter what kind of garbage can you have on your property, if the garbage is on the side of the garbage can, it's not in. Their teeth are so powerful and jaws. If they want to get in there.
Yeah, if you have the perfect plastic trash receptacle, and you have a population around it, they're going through that no matter what. So I think it's a waste of money right now for the town, in my opinion, until you investigate exactly what's going on to support the activity.
And I think
Now, metal is a better option than plastic, but like I said, I worked with the Housing Authority in Boston, and $23,000 in trash receptacles that were destroyed by the rats. Because the pressure was so high that they just went right through the cans.
And what I think that happens a lot of times, they're bigger than a regular garbage can. I think that people may use it, instead of they might have one small garbage can that holds 2 bags, but that one might hold 5 or 6. But for the most part,
And now, just correct me on that point, but is it the trash truck that picks up mechanically?
Yes.
Yeah, those dumpsters all have edges on them, which are perfect for gnawing for the rat. So it's not evenly rounded where it can't catch an edge. It's a perfectly rounded. If you've seen these garbage cans just like that, where squirrels have put a perfect softball-sized hole in it just to get to them, that's exactly what happens. Rat would do the same thing.
Mr. President.
Councilman?
Thank you.
Now, what I've seen, what we showed you in the videos, it's sanitation. I mean, that in New York, the garbage is all over the sidewalk, and you see, you kick the bags, the rats, and jump right off and go back into a sewer. But if you took away that garbage, they wouldn't be on that sidewalk, there's nothing there for them to eat. And when we go to these properties, the pictures that Dick had, we went there that day, and it was shocking that they had, they're complaining about rats, when you can clearly see there's garbage all over the ground, and the dumpster is right there. They're just not, they're being lazy, that's what it comes down to, that's how I feel.
Councilman DeStefanis has a question, and then we're going to wrap this up.
So, along with the rest of the council, I thank you for your time. Most importantly, so harboring, containment of trash, what do we do? And I asked that question because we can give Mike the power to, do what he needs to do, so he has a good idea as to potentially solving the problem, but to me, it seems like we could send the literature out, we can educate them, but if they don't throw the trash out, we're stuck. So, how have other communities that you service solved this problem?
Not solved, but managed. It's a multi-tier approach. Education and outreach, that's the first step. And if you're not doing that, then you're not getting the message out. So there's a weak link in your chain. So community outreach is huge. Inspections, enforcement, action, all of that comes into part, and it has to be not some long, arduous process. It has to be something that's pretty streamlined, and having that standard operating procedure for this is how we act if a complaint arises. So having best management practices for a rat situation, and how it's going to be handled, so that everyone knows and everyone's on the same page, and not one commercial property or not one residential property will vary in how the situation's handled. It's the same methodology for each situation. That would be my best advice. And I'd be more than happy to help assist in any way possible.
Thank you. Any further questions?
Just one last thing. We're gonna continue to do whatever we can, any suggestions, any calls, any, requests, we'll take care of it. The thing that's bothering me through all of this is that, again, it's become a public issue because of the situation. When we look at the numbers, and Anthony and I talked about it, our situation, of complaints in this town with people that may have a rodent problem is probably 1%.
It's less than 1%, figure out.
Okay? 1%. So, the thing that's upsetting is when we have to, by the way, and it's off my chest, when we have to read the newspaper and that a town is rat infested isn't fair to the other residents of this town that are taking care of their property.
Well, I take care of my property, Mr. Mayor, and
Come to the mic.
rat infested.
But by the way, you're talking 1% and we're trying to address it.
But in the meantime, I have to live in a rat infested home. That's not fair to me.
And it's not.
And it drives me crazy to hear it.
And it's not, but unfortunately, you have that situation that we're gonna try to help you square it away. The point I'm trying to make here is that we're 1%. We're at 1%, like Anthony said, with the numbers that we've, addressed here, that, look, we wanna be at 0. That's where we're heading. We're gonna do whatever we can to address it, but the problem you have is you're talking about new cans, by the way, new cans are good, but if the person that's not throwing their trash in the can, that's the person that we're having a problem with. There's people in this town, by the way, and I'm not happy to tell you that they don't care. They don't care about themselves, they don't care about their property.
It's the way of the world now.
It's sad. It's sad. But it's not fair to this town, members of this council, that we are being polarized, so to say, that we have a rat-infested town. Because it's not so. It's not so.
And I'll just end on this note. I'll give you my card. I'll come to your property, no charge. I'll do a full assessment of why you have rats and what's going on, and I'll provide it to the council. So you'll know exactly what's going on. Whether
Thank you.
it's your problem, your neighbor's property, or what the story is. I'm a Rhode Island resident. I'd love to solve this as much as, you would.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, the situation is that, with the young lady, she called because of the rat. But she's not the cause of the rat.
No, but I'll tell you exactly what's going on so you can use
That's
your
what
case.
happens. If your neighbor or your next door neighbor, 2 houses down, are the cause of the problem, they don't even care about the rat's problem. They probably see them in their yard. They don't even care. So, but you care, so you call. And most of the people who call us, we go to their home,
All right, thank you.
Then you have people with their hands up.
You gotta,
Thank
you
you.
gotta, all right.
Come
if
to
any-
the microphone.
If anyone would like to speak on this issue, they gotta come up to the microphone. And please keep it brief.
Just to elaborate on what the mayor said, as far as the 1%, 2%, doesn't really matter. But to help out Mr. Cannavale, he's gonna go around, he's gonna be enforcing all these individuals, whether they throw the garbage out, spilling over, whatever. My point being, if we have the buckets and we get those in place, okay, it's gonna make his job a lot easier, because there's no excuse for anybody else in this town. Because if we do supply to everybody, just the simplest, maybe the first step into containing the garbage that has a lid on it, and then if the people, if they don't follow the law, then it's gonna be a lot easier to enforce it. Otherwise, I think we're gonna create a gray area, we're gonna fall into selective enforcement, it's gonna get people against people throughout this community, it's not gonna, we're here to unite. We're not here to just create problems.
What's the question?
Chief.
Look at that dumpster. Is there anything in that dumpster? Is there any trash outside?
But he has a dumpster, so Mr. Cannavale can go down there, and that's my point.
They're all trash around.
All right, come on now.
All right, let's.
You wanna come up, sir?
That's the. People cause rats. That's the town. Well, if they.
Excuse me, Mr. Tito, 1 second.
They're still, they might not put a couple over it.
All right.
They have these beautiful dumpsters behind some of these buildings. And the heads, I'm not shutting the doors on it. Metal dumpsters, metal lids.
Go ahead, sir.
Somebody's house, that picture I sent has
Can you just state, sir, can you just state your
Hi,
name? for
my
the-
name is Fayette Amson. I live on 78 Cottage Avenue. When I first heard this problem with Woonasquatucket, I felt that, that was just going to be there. Well, the next thing I knew that I had a hole in my garbage can and right in my yard and everything else. And then we found a rat coming through our yard and went into our neighbor's yard. Of course, I replaced my garbage can, but that rat did eat right through it. So I felt that, even if I replace the garbage can, that rat is going to eat right through it again. So I talked to my immediate neighbor, who has passed away since then, unfortunately. But anyway, I talked to him, and he said on Sunset Avenue, and we could see it, that there was garbage that wasn't even covered. So me and him went down there. I don't know the people or anything else, but we advised them because of what was going on. You can read it in the breeze. It was obvious and everything else, what you folks were trying to do. And we talked to them, and they fixed their problem. And I haven't had a problem at all since then. And I never expected it to be on Cottage Avenue. But when you're talking about Woonasquatucket, I can see the problem because of the river and everything else. I think it's everybody's problem, but if we all just become aware of it and try to fix it instead of arguing about it, and just check your neighbors out and everything else, and try to help out. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to move on to item number 11. Energy Power Plant proposal in Burrillville. Receive request from Ray Trinke to appear to address the town council for a resolution in opposition to the Invenergy Power Plant proposal in Burrillville. Mr. Trinke, just please state your name for the record.
Brendan J. Trank. I'm a town councilman, town of Burrillville.
Thank you for coming.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having us come. As a member of the Burrillville Town Council representing the entire town, the town council and the town are firmly against the Invenergy plant being in Burrillville. As you may or may not know, we already have a power plant in Burrillville, and this power plant is being placed in probably the absolute worst place it could be placed. But there were really three reasons. You say, why are you against the power plant? There are really three reasons. One is the power is not needed. It's been proven by a power auction that the power, they sold power for the first year they'd be in operation, which is in 19, and they only sold less than 50% of the power they'd be able to produce at an extremely discounted rate. They're putting it in the middle of a natural area of which there are very few left in New England and very few left in Rhode Island. And third, and most important, I think, is that they've proven to be a bad neighbor before they even move in. They've lied. Just the other night, while we were talking to the great people of the great city of Woonsocket, they told the lie that they admitted under oath that they told that same lie before. It's absolutely insane. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate the effort, the opportunity to speak to you. And like Burrillville, we're a little beat up. I'm a little beat up tonight, and we're all a little beat up. But I can say that we're still fighting. Now, I brought some friends with me. The first one is Paul Roselli. He's the head of the Burrillville Land Trust.
Town Council President Torriello and Town Council members, Paul Roselli from the Burrillville Land Trust. Thank you for this opportunity. What we're asking you is to join about 17 other municipalities through the state in supporting one of your neighbors. The neighbor is the town of Burrillville. Many months ago, the town council, after spending an enormous amount of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, getting experts from all over the world to come in and evaluate this project, they determined, as well as the zoning board and the planning board, that this project was not appropriate for the place that it's been proposed. Since then, the town council and many members of the land trust and people here tonight have gone all over the state asking for your resolutions, asking for a North Providence Town Council resolution, one of two things: supporting one of your neighbors, the Burrillville Town Council, in their opposition to the power plant, or opposing the power plant outright. Granted, we all need energy, and we all need to keep the lights on, but Rhode Island is doing really well when it comes to both of those. We've been really efficient. Mostly because of our rates are among the highest, not the highest, but among the highest in the nation. This power plant will not reduce ratepayer rates for North Providence residents. It will not reduce anything when it comes to your tax burden or anything related to energy. What it will do is increase your liability when it comes to subscribing to the Resilient Rhode Island Act. So we're asking you here tonight to, either tonight or some other town council meeting, to approve a resolution in support of one of your neighbors, the Burrillville Town Council.
So, the town council opposes the power plant. Did this go before the voters of Burrillville?
It did not. So there are a couple of things going on.
I was trying to read up as much as I could on it.
I'm
before
glad you
tonight's
did.
meeting, you know?
And we're here certainly to answer some of the questions that you may have. So the Energy Facility Siting Board, a three-person panel, decides what to do. They take control away from the local municipality. The local municipality has no authority at all whether or not to decide to have this power plant in their municipality or not. I'm sure you've experienced some of that before, where the state mandates and forces down your throat a particular project, whether it be roads or a park or an interstate. You've had that issue before. So no, it never went before the town voters.
And what was the issue at the State House? Because I remember there being a rally at the State House. Was that for it to go before the voters of Burrillville? Or
Sure.
that legislation?
So if I may, the rally was was to support a House and Senate a bill that would, one, give back some of that local authority, and two, make some changes to the three-person panel of the Energy Facility Siting Board. So that's what the rally was for.
And did that legislation pass?
The legislation moved out of the House the House subcommittee, went to the full House. The House approved it overwhelmingly. It got before the Senate subcommittee. It faced a lot of challenges there because of how it was presented. The Senate decided not to move it out of committee, and so that essentially killed the bill.
And that subcommittee, I mean, the Energy Council, or I forget, what was the name?
Yeah, the Rhode Island Energy Facilities Siting Board under the Public Utilities Commission.
Is that the board that the governor oversees?
The governor appoints the three-person panel members, Margaret Curran, who you may know as she was a former state attorney general who put Buddy Cianci behind bars, DEM director Janet Coit, and associate director of statewide planning Parag Agarwal.
Okay.
Right.
I'm just trying to read up on as much as I can.
The originally, those rights that we went to the Senate to try to get were originally taken away in the 80s. A special legislation was put in which specifically took away Burrillville's right to vote on or against a tax treaty. And those are rights that some communities still have, some don't. But in this particular case, that particular right was taken away, which helped the original power plant that we have, the Ocean State Power Plant, come in back then.
Okay,
and
I
it's
read that.
also helping with this. And so we're trying to get those rights back, not trying to get any different rights or new rights.
And you may be familiar with the recent election, recent presidential election, where Tiverton there was a proposal to put in a casino in the town of Tiverton, and it had to be approved by both the residents of the voters of Tiverton as well as the state in order to pass. When it comes to electric production companies, that right is taken away from all of our municipalities, including the one here.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions?
Yeah,
Go
I'd
ahead.
like-
Are you on the town council as well?
I am not on the town council.
Okay.
I'm a resident. So
Good
thank
luck.
you. I just had one quick comment, and then I wanted to explain the map that I shared. So one other piece of information I think is important is when we talk about the site that they're proposing, the same site was proposed when the original power plant in town, when they came in and wanted to build there. So when Ocean State Power submitted their proposal, they had over 30 locations as potential locations for the power plant. This particular location where Invenergy would like to build, Rhode Island DEM rejected because of the nature of what is there for the forest and the wildlife and the plant life. So they actually have documentation from an environmental impact assessment saying that's an unsuitable location for this type of facility. You know, it's surrounded by state parks and so forth. And just to explain the map, so I just thought it'd be helpful to give a representation of where we visited so far. So when you're looking at the map, the towns and cities that are in green have passed a resolution against the siting of the facility. Those that are in blue have it on an upcoming agenda, and those in yellow had taken the correspondence and filed it with no action.
The green has approved, you said?
Green has approved. So we have a total of 17 cities and towns, one of which is Thompson, Connecticut. The rest are Rhode Island based.
And it's important to remember that they approved, many of them have approved a resolution opposing it directly. Some have approved a resolution in support of the Burrillville Town Council's opposition. So they're two different. Do you all understand that? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mr. President?
Councilwoman Brady?
Yeah, just a point of clarification. Did you indicate that the site, the planned site, is a DEM protected area?
I can speak on that because the Burrillville Land Trust
Right.
owns, we're a private land trust in the town of Burrillville, and we own some property very close to that area. So So if you know where Wallem Lake is, Zambrano Hospital, you know where Buck Hill Management Area, George Washington Management Area, Pulaski Park, and the Boy Scout Camp, which is about 1,300 acres or so. That power plant is smack in the middle of all of that protected property.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. I have 3 Eagle Scouts. I know the area very well.
There you go.
So where are they right now with this power plant project? Are they?
Oh, it's a great question. So we learned tonight, almost 90 days ago, the Energy Facility Siting Board actually put a halt to the process because the power plant did not have a source of water, because they had been denied by a utility district and a fire district in the town of Burrowville for use of water. Since then, Invenergy has searched around. They tried for Woonsocket. Tonight, just about an hour and a half ago, the city council there voted 5-2 to deny access to Woonsocket's water to Invenergy.
Wow. Wow.
We will, yeah, so that happened just an hour and a half ago.
Okay. Does anybody, any of the council members have questions for these gentlemen? Well, thank you for this presentation. Very, very informative.
Great.
And I'm going to entertain a motion to refer this to our ordinance committee so we can review it further. And we'll have a meeting pretty soon. And I look forward to taking this issue up.
And if you have any questions or comments that we need from us, you have our information.
Absolutely.
And also, we do have a formal presentation that we can make at your ordinance subcommittee if they'd like it. It's, what's the short version, about 15? It can go from 15 to 45 minutes, but it's a full presentation and includes a lot of the facts and figures. So if you need that, we're more than glad to provide that as well.
Thank you.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilwoman Brady, seconded by Councilman DeStefanis. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Item number 12, light installed on Julie Ann Court. Councilman Fiola requests discussion and vote to have a light installed on pole number 2 on Julie Ann Court.
Thank you,
Councilman?
Thank you, Mr. President. Julianne Court is a small street, only has currently one light on it entirely. It is very dark at one end, so I'm making a motion that we have a light installed at pole number 2 on Julianne Court.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Fiola for a light on pole 2, seconded by Councilman Brady. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. Item number 13, Town Council Committees. Town Council President to appoint the council committees. First name listed on each committee should be the chairman of said committees, and the Town Council President is ex officio of all committees. Okay, claims. Councilman Fiola, Councilman Brady, Councilman Giusti. Public Services, Councilman Brady, Councilman DeStefanis, Councilman DiLorenzo. Public Safety, Councilman Amerigi, Councilman DeStefanis, Councilman DiLorenzo. Ordinance, Councilman Giusti, Councilman Amerigi, Councilman Fiola. Finance, Councilman DeStefanis, Councilman Fiola, Councilman Giusti. Economic Development, Councilman DiLorenzo, Councilman Brady, Councilman Amerigi. Motion to accept these committees that I just presented.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Giusti, seconded by Councilwoman Brady. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Mr. President, can the clerk just send us a copy of the committees? Thank you. Thank you.
Item number 14, amusement licenses. Receive applications for the renewal of amusement devices, amusement centers, coin-operated pool tables, non-coin-operated pool tables, miniature bowling, and auto wrecking and salvage. Okay. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the 2017 amusement list for Bailey's Pub, Friendly's, L.A. Bailey's, Larry's Lounge, Fitzy's Pub 2, Presentation Columbus Club, and Twins Pizza.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made by Councilman Juicy, seconded by Councilwoman Brady. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Just for the record, the Veterans Rec Club did not renew. Amusement Center, RI Billiards. Do I have a motion to renew the Amusement Center for RI Billiards?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Juicy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Coin-operated pool tables. Bailey's Pub, Dodge Gulius, Post 29, Larry's Lounge, and Sunnyside Rec Club. Do I have a motion for the coin-op pool tables?
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman DeStefanis, seconded by Councilman Brady. Any questions? There being none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Non-coin op pool table. Greystone Social Club and RI Billiards. Do I have a motion to grant?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman DeStefanis. Any questions? There being none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Miniature Bowling, Greystone Social Club. Do I have a motion to grant?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman DeStefanis. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Auto Wrecking and Salvage, D'Agostino Auto Salvage, North Providence Auto Salvage, K&R Auto Salvage. Do I motion to renew?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Juicy. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 15, board appointments. Town council discussion and action with regard to the appointments to be made to the following boards.
She's gonna send a letter to us, an email.
Okay, public libraries. Sean Donahue, he regretfully left me a message that he will be resigning from the board. So, unfortunately, due to commitments with his family, he will be submitting a letter. So, I'm going to entertain a motion to remove Sean Donahue from the Board of Trustees, Public Library.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Fiola, and we're going to have to advertise that seat.
Mr. President, I think I
I
can
know it's
answer
not
that.
an issue tonight, but so maybe you could refer that.
Councilman?
I think it's, so when the budget's drafted, it's, I think the top of the page listed as a grant. So I think that's the reason.
That's, Councilman, and I think that was the question, why it's become part of, a grant. I don't know that it should be, but in any case,
So you're saying we should be
Just direct.
it should be just it should be
just a section, a subsection of...
so to say, of the town.
Yeah, they come through Munis, so there's no reason.
We take care of the payroll and all of that, so.
Yeah, all right, I agree.
And I don't know why, but it happened before we came in, maybe, just take a look at it, it was a request of us, and I said that they, rather than put on the agenda next month, maybe you could request it, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, B, Housing Authority. Armin Milazzo. Do I have a motion to reappoint Armin Milazzo to the Housing Authority Board?
So moved.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady. Is there a second?
Second.
seconded by Councilman Amorigi. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? I'll do a roll call vote. Councilman DeStefanis?
Aye.
Councilwoman Brady?
Aye.
Councilman Fiola?
Aye.
Councilman Amorigi?
Aye.
Councilman DiLorenzo?
Aye.
Councilman Giusti? Nay, and the chair votes aye.
6 ayes, 1 nay.
Okay, zoning board? Do I have a motion to reappoint Joseph Scorpio to the zoning board? Is there a motion to appoint Joseph Scorpio to the zoning board?
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Giusti, seconded by Councilman Brady. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Board of Tax Review. Is there a motion to reappoint Audrey Albert? I have her letter. I'll read into the record.
So moved.
Dear Ms. DeAngelis, Dear Ms. DeAngelis, I'm writing you to please inform Council President Audiello and honorable members of the Town Council that I would appreciate their consideration of my reappointment to the Tax Board of Review. I have served on the board since September of 2012 as a member of the board. I appreciate that I can help the taxpayers of the town. I have enjoyed my time served and look forward to another 4 years. Thank you so much. Sincerely, Audrey Albert. Motion's been made by Councilman Amorigi, seconded by Councilwoman Brady. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. We have a motion to reappoint John Donovan.
So moved.
Is there a second? The motion's been made by Councilman Giusti. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Fiola. Any questions?
Mr. President?
There being none, all those in favor?
Can we make that appointment with the understanding that he still lives in the town?
Did anyone check with him to see if he still wanted to continue?
We will make the appointment based on him wanting to continue, but we will send him, I'll make a motion to send him a letter to confirm that.
He'll get a reappointment letter anyway, so
Okay,
if he doesn't live in the town, it should come back to me.
Okay. Okay, so the motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Police Pension Board of Review. I make a motion to appoint Councilman Stephen DiLorenzo.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilwoman Brady, seconded by Councilman DeStefanis. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Town Auctioneers. Al Cristofaro. I'll make a motion to reappoint Al Cristofaro.
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Giusti. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Salvatore J. Corio. I'll make a motion to appoint Salvatore. Is there a motion to reappoint Salvatore J. Corio?
So moved.
So, second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Giusti, seconded by Councilman Brady. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Municipal Court Judge. I have a letter that I'd like to read into the record. The Honorable Dino Audiello, Town Council President, and honorable members of the North Providence Town Council, 2000 Smith Street, North Providence, Rhode Island, 02911. Dear President Audiello and members of the Town Council, please be advised that as of today I am reappointing Robert Peretti, Municipal Court Judge, for a 4-year term from January 1st, 2017 to January 1st, 2021. Very truly yours, Charles Lombardi, Mayor. Do I have a motion to reappoint Robert Peretti?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Fiola. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Associate Municipal Judge Valentino Lombardi. I have a letter. Please, dear President Audiello, members of the Town Council, please be advised that as of today, I am reappointing Valentino Lombardi, Associate Municipal Judge, for a 1-year term from January 1st, 2017 to January 1st, 2018. Do I have a motion to reappoint
So moved.
Valentino Lombardi?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Amorigi, seconded by Councilman Brady. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Historic District Commission. I have a motion to reappoint Daniel Krenzer.
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
second? Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Fiola. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. William M., do I have a motion to reappoint William M. Woodward?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made by Councilwoman Brady, seconded by Councilman Fiola. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. And Thomas, do I have a motion to reappoint Thomas Green as an alternate?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Fiola. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. And that is it.
Wait, that's not,
I don't have that as one of my boards, financial.
No, I just got done telling Councilman DeStefanis that it's a subcommittee of the council, so it's not a committee, it's a committee.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of, so what happens is, like the police pension board, so if there is a vacancy over there now, if they put a council person is no longer on the council,
Okay.
then maybe you take it up next month as an appointment.
All right, so I'll put it on next
Right
one.
now, I'm writing those things, it's not listed on the agenda, so I would not do that.
All right. We'll take it up.
And I don't think they have, their terms don't expire, right? So that's why it's not on this list, I think.
Okay, item number 16, joint poll location. Discussion and possible vote with regard to a petition from Verizon New England and Narragansett Electric Company to relocate one jointly owned pole, number 50-50, on the southerly side of Mineral Spring Avenue in order to accommodate new construction at 1410 Mineral Spring Avenue. Do I have a motion to grant the joint poll location?
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion has been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Giusti. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 17, claims submitted. Town Council discussion and action in regard to the claims received from the following. Michael Medici by attorney Leslie Tachapsky. Elise Rivera, Coyer and Lepore. And I believe that's it. Okay, do I have a motion to refer those to the Claims Committee?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilwoman Brady, seconded by Councilman Fiola. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Now, item number 18, Claims Committee report. Town Council discussion and action with regard to the Claims Committee report to be presented by Councilman Fiola. Councilman?
Thank you, Mr. President. Two claims were presented at the Claims Committee. One, Mr. Medici, and the second, Ms. Rivera. Both were in excess of the town's deductible. They were both referred to the town's insurance carrier.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a motion to accept the Claims Committee report?
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Giusti. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, the ayes have it. Item number 19, tax addendas. Town Council discussion and action and possible vote with regard to the list of tax addendas received from tax assessor in the amount of $261.22 for motor vehicles and $381.85 for tangibles. Do I have a motion to grant?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman DeStefanis. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Tax abatements under $1,000. Town Council discussion and action with regard to the list of tax abatements under $1,000 received from the tax assessor and Board of Tax Review in the amount of $715.26 for real estate, $2,681.06 for motor vehicles, and $2,216.55 for tangibles. Do I have a motion to abate?
So moved.
Is there a second? Motion has been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Giusti. Any questions? There being none, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Before we adjourn, I would like to say thank you to our two new council members, Councilman Stephen DiLorenzo and Councilman Kenny Amarigi, on their first meeting. You survived. Really good job. And I look forward, and I think I speak for the whole council, to working with you guys. It's an honor. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
Welcome. So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made by Councilman Brady, seconded by Councilman Fiola. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?